This video is about the problems you have when deleting elements from arrays. We have two example programs, one of which doesn't work and one of which does, but is mildly irritating. Now I'm just going to talk through the one that doesn't to start with. So first of all, we've got some data we put in an array just as a test. Then we just simply print it out. Then all this code here does is essentially just read in the index, the number of the element you want to delete. So for example, if you typed in 3, it would delete element 0, 1, 2, 3, the 2.1. That would be 4, that would be 2, and so on. Remember, arrays start counting from 0. The way it does this is a simple way, and a way that works perfectly well if you don't have to worry about the order of your data. It simply takes the last element of the array and copies it over the one you want to delete. Now, after that, it prints out the data again. So let's just try running this. Oops. Okay, so we'll delete element 0, 1, 2, 3. We're typing 3 here. And so that should delete the 2.1 and replace it by the 0.9. And in fact, you can see that it has done that. It's copied the 0.9 and overwritten the 2.1. The problem is you can still see the 0.9 at the end, because in no way does copying the data remove it from the array. It's still there. And the problem we have is that if we go back to our code, when we're actually printing out the array after the deletion, we're using data.length. And Java has no idea that we've actually shortened the array. As far as it's concerned, the data is still there. It just thinks the array is as long as it ever was. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's never going to change. So we can't use data.length to keep track of how much data is really in the array if we want to delete things. We've got to have another variable that basically says, no, really, I know data.length says it's 6, but actually we've deleted something and really there's only 5 left. So we'll look at remove 2. Now, all this code is exactly the same up to here, where we've introduced a new variable called count, which we've initially set to data.length. Then we read in the element number we want to delete. We delete it by copying it from the end, from count -1 to wherever we want to delete, and then we decrement the count variable. We take 1 away. This means that when we print out the array at the end, rather than being able to use data.length, which is a sort of nice and relatively elegant way of doing things, we have to use this new variable count. On the other hand, doing it this way does mean it does work. Oops. So again, we'll say 3, and this time you notice that it's deleted the 0.9, but actually it hasn't repeated, sorry, it's deleted the 2.1, but the 0.9 isn't repeated. It's actually not showing up. No, it's still in the array, but it's not being printed out, and we have to keep track of what elements of data are real and what are just essentially junk left at the end of our array. This is one of the other irritations of arrays. They don't really allow us to move things around and shrink and grow things easily, and so they're not really an ideal data structure when you want to add and delete data.